But do you want to like take a shot, or do you want to be able to
Enjoy
casually
it.
drink, something that's
Exactly,
flavorful?
exactly. The person that drinks a glass of wine is different than the beer drinker, which is different than the hard alcohol.
That's about the closest comparison I try to make. Unfortunately, because
Yeah, I mean-
I don't exactly love to compare us to alcohol on a daily basis, but it is in terms of the market.
No, it is very
seasonal.
accurate.
I'd say beer is more like flour, liquor is more like an extract.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that there's a certain amount of crossover there, although the culture I think is different. But aside from that, all right, let's see what else we got here.
So that banana kush was good. I'm not sure we're doing them all at once, but I can tell you one of those is effective. I'm vouch for that
Something
right
is working. Yeah, that first one was
Yes.
90%. So
Yeah, so
what
I'm
do
gonna
we
write
get
it up
to?
to that.
Wow, this one is 96.
Oh,
The banana kush.
Yeah, okay.
So that's another thing. We never really marketed our potency, but we might start
Okay.
a little bit. We feel that at some point, at least some consumers looking at that. I think more nowadays people are looking at the percentage on a beer.
Absolutely,
I
and-
personally, from experience of being in our dispo, I do have a lot of people with the such joints. Of
Yeah.
course, be like, oh, what's the highest hitter? What's this one hitting
Interesting.
at? And believe it or not, that is a really big key to them wanting to buy it. Because I don't know if it's like, I don't know, they just look at it like, oh, it's
It's bang for your
32%,
buck.
I
Yeah,
want
I guess.
32%.
yeah.
So
I mean, and we're seeing that
helps.
kind of across the board. I mean, when we're making weed transactions, or flower transactions, we're having the same questions.
Yeah, like what is your flour coming
this
in
test
at?
at?
It's like
What's this
25,
test
at?
26%.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody comes in, I think, unless it's like the regulars and people who just know their product and they're like, nope, I already know this is my brand. They go. That's always the first question.
And I won't lie, I'm kind of reluctant about numbers. We're as honest as we can be about it, but there is a 15% variation. And it's also, especially it's harder with these cartridges, but with the solid concentrates and with the flour, what I tell people is it's what gets in those nose hairs, what makes you feel
Yeah.
good, what smells like is gonna be delicious, because that's what's gonna be right for you.
Absolutely. I know people get too caught up in the numbers sometimes. I think we forget that we have to remind ourselves in our office that we're part of a 1% in terms of our experience with cannabis, working in this industry and knowing the ins and outs. The casual consumer doesn't have
No.
that exposure. So education is growingly important, and I think that as time goes on, that experience in the shop is going to be a big decider in the brands on the store side that you see around going into your shop, talking to your staff. You're talking to people that understand, that can explain, that take the time to, and I think that on some levels I see the people that are in front of the folks buying get shoved in those positions with not a lot of that, but we're getting better and better by the day, I think, and as we do, I think that it's gonna be a more enjoyable experience for the casual smoker, to be able to
Absolutely.
come in touch with the fact that maybe those numbers don't matter as much and that they got high. I have a theory that somebody should start selling swag. I think you have.
We get asked that about once a month.
Come
You have
on,
any swag?
I think there's a generation out there
Absolutely.
that gets their mind blown by the stuff that we're growing in the state,
We've
and
got
it's
to cover
scary.
the science pretty much, and yeah, it's definitely not. This is definitely not your dad or your grandfather's weed.
You put an ad selling a dime bag, I swear you guys could do it, and y'all would have a bunch of people answering it. People want to buy a lot of weed, I think, and get something they can pick stuff out of. It's not what I want personally, but that one's super pepper. That's hash plant 13. That's our oil card.
That
You
is-
can see that there's less of a nose tingle maybe a little on that because it's less terps
Less terps in it.
and more just
But
straight
see,
to the
I
point.
actually like
Yeah,
the
it
nose
tasted
tingle.
like a vape.
And most people, when they ask me about that, I'm like, well, that's the terpenes in it. That's how you know it's strong terps, because you feel like,
Right.
okay. And sometimes people sneeze and they're like, oh, I'm allergic to it. I'm like, but
No.
you're not. That's just really good quality terpenes you're ingesting, and
I think
I'm not used
that
to that.
that's a major part of the R&D that we did because there's a thin line there. It's 1 or 2, 3%, and you can get into where everybody is overwhelmingly getting the nose stuff. But we try to walk the line where the flavor comes through, but but it's enjoyable. You know, it doesn't
Mhm.
irritate or anything. But I think the clear winner of those three, obviously, was the live terps on the
I
Lemon G.
think the
Yeah.
live terps on the Lemon G was definitely there. The banana kush, like, I mean, honestly, to
Yeah.
me, they were both comparable, even though, you know, one was, the
Agreed.
live terps and the other one was not as much.
I think that the sesh was less smooth but more flavorful, and I think I felt it was
Full body.
96%. So
Yeah.
sesh is our, you know, I think our highest selling cartridge. I think that everybody sees it. They love the packaging. The product is consistent, like we talked about, and it's at that intersection of quality and price where you don't feel like you're sacrificing, you know, or getting something, you know. But at the same time, that's why we like to put our oil out there too, for like the no frills and any consumer can come in and find something that fits their day or who they are, so.
You know, this is like back to being a grassroots industry, that we want to be able to service the consumer.
Absolutely,
And we wanna have something that's gonna be good for them.
yeah. And that they can feel, of course, you know, we have a super low failure rate. We want people to go home and enjoy. That's what we want, period.
That's-
Well,
Now we don't want
at
them
the
to worry
end of
about
the day,
things working.
anybody who works in a dispensary, I think we can all agree, we want whatever makes the consumer happy.
Absolutely,
And whatever makes the consumer happy, that's what we're gonna give them.
absolutely.
So,
So that's what's brought
It's
us to
great to
having all
have
these
this-
products.
and I think that's
Exactly.
great because
And
like you said, it's different levels, it's different pricing, it's different budgets. Therefore, there's a little bit of everything for everyone, and it's not just like, oh, wow, I gotta go broke just to get this. Like,
Right.
there are some brands.
yeah,
Right,
So
absolutely,
it's overall user and consumer friendly on multiple levels.
absolutely. I appreciate that, I agree.
yeah, no, I mean, we carry both the sesh joints and I think we got some med cartridges, I could be wrong,
Are-
but they definitely will be on the shelf by the time.
So I don't know if
this
they're
is
med
published.
cartridges, but I know we do have cartridges in now.
Yeah, so, yeah,
We'll do a post on Crafts, social media on Instagram, doing something over the next couple of days to let you guys know exactly what's in Sticky Fingers. Maybe do some strain drops so you guys can know, and it's always gonna be a source for exactly what we've been talking about across the board, whether it's craft or anybody else that's in the shop, or their flower. It's gonna be quality, you're gonna get a great experience. And I think that's why we love working with you guys so much, and why I think there's been a natural synergy between our brands, isn't that? So
Absolutely,
we're
absolutely.
like-minded, so we're appreciative, and look forward to a great 2020, that's for sure.
for sure,
Well-
great year coming up.
I know personally, like, y'all are my favorite vendor who walks through the store with the box.
She
So I'm
waits
like-
for you guys, she works
I
in the
look at
back
the
and she
camera
like
and I'm
comes out
like,
looking.
Ricky would
oh.
tell me, hey, craft's coming. Oh, okay. Like every hour. Is craft here?
Yeah, I
And I'll
love
just
it.
look at the camera.
I
Oh,
love
is
it.
that the? No, that's not that.
And your feedback
Okay.
too is so valuable to us, you know? We are behind the curtain. You guys are the ones out on the stage, face to face with the consumer. And so anything, your knowledge, your opinions of what you see is working, what's not, we are the brand where you can pass something up the line and the box will come and you'll open it up and you'll see your changes in our product. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of what we've always looked for.
I think everything with your product is just amazing. There's really no change that
Good.
needs
Well, I
to be
appreciate
with
that.
it.
Right.
Like, it's craft. Like everybody it's craft. Everybody loves it.
Well, thank you so much. We strive to earn that same trust every day. It's
And then
rent's due every month, not something that we take for granted,
Right.
you know what I mean?
And
So,
I'll say, isn't your motto like craft your high?
yes,
And
yes.
I love that. It's because again,
Hashtag
there's
craft your
so
high.
many different
Yeah.
products of it too. So it's like that's awesome.
And we've gotten great feedback from a social media perspective with people showing us how they do. You know what I mean? Being able to show us how they craft their
How they
high.
craft
Because it
their
means
high.
something different, I think, for everyone. And that's reflected in our product offerings, and it's reflected in the feedback that we get from our fans and from the people who are fans of our products. Of being able to show us what it means to them, whether it's on a hike or with their dogs or with their family or by themselves or by the fire when it's snowing, and it's created a sense of community when, like we've already talked about, we need it the most. So
Mhm.
it's been great. I really appreciate all
Absolutely.
the kind words.
Yeah, and we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day,
Absolutely. Thank
And,
you for having me.
you know, bullshitting for a little bit.
Absolutely, it's fun. Can't wait for the next
Yes.
one. These are all
Definitely.
y'all's, by the way, so.
Really?
Yes,
Okay, well,
absolutely.
we're gonna have to go like, quality control of the sesh joint. real
That
quick.
sounds good to me.
Alright.
Better have a safety meeting.
Indeed. We still call it that. I guess let's go do that.
Yeah.
Alright.